happy new month, and welcome to this week's edition of the program NAGAFF Cargo Watch on Radio Metro 97.7 FM. Today's package promises to be an interesting one, delving into one of the very important sectors in the maritime industry, the barge. I am Rod Sunday, your regular host. First, we shall get you informed of recent happenings in the industry.
From keys to gate, we've raised the bar. Our ports are strengthened. Ships and trade are coming through faster. Reinforced infrastructure, modernized terminals and harbors, cleared access roads, and seamless truck entry with smarter flow. Operational readiness is more than a goal, it's our standard. Nigerian Ports Authority, a national brand asset anchored on service excellence.
You are now onto our news bits. The Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization, IMO, Mr. Arsenio Dominguez, has showered praises on Nigeria's remarkable achievements in maritime security, particularly its success in recording zero piracy incidents for over 3 years and the groundbreaking Deep Blue project, which he described as a model for regional cooperation in the Gulf of Guinea. Mr. Dominguez, who made the remarks during a courtesy visit to the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Honorable Adeboyega Oyetola, CON, noted that Nigeria's investment in maritime safety infrastructure and the collaboration of its security agencies, especially the Nigerian Navy, have yielded tangible results in combating piracy and maritime crimes. According to him, these efforts demonstrate Nigeria's leadership and commitment to ensuring safer seas, not just for its own waters, but for the wider West and Central African region. The IMO chief acknowledged Nigeria's recent submission to the organization outlining its national and regional security initiatives and stressed the need for continued support in infrastructural development and acquisition of modern equipment.
A maritime analyst, Dr. Eugene Nweke, says Nigeria is losing about $4 billion every year due to inefficiencies and delays at its seaports, despite raking in over 1.3 trillion naira in customs revenue in the first quarter of 2025. Dr. Nweke stressed that fixing these losses should be Nigeria's top priority as the country assumes the chairmanship of the World Customs Organization's Council, a global body covering 98% of the world trade. He warned that the role must not be treated as ceremonial. According to him, Nigeria's historic appointment as the first African country to chair the WCO Council puts it at the center of global customs reforms, with the potential to position the nation as a continental trade hub under the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. He praised ongoing reforms by the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, including scanners at ports, a single-window platform for trade facilitation, and risk-based inspections. But he cautioned that corruption, poor infrastructure, and policy consistency could derail progress. Weke concluded that Nigeria must treat its WCO leadership as a tool for transformation, not prestige, adding that if reforms are consolidated, the country could redefine its economic future and emerge as a continental beacon of trade and industrialization.
In a landmark move to strengthen Nigeria's industrial base and ease the cost of doing business, the Nigeria Customs Service (NCS) and the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria (MAN) have reached a strategic agreement to exempt manufacturers from the controversial 4% free on board FOB charge and deepen trade facilitation efforts. The agreement was announced following a high level consultation between Comptroller General of Customs Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR, and MAN President Francis Michel, FR, held in Abuja. The meeting was convened in response to the Ministry of Finance directive suspending the 4% FOB charge and calling for stakeholder engagement under the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023. The dialogue addressed key concerns raised by the manufacturers, including multiple checkpoints, system alerts, and technical glitches on the BOW platform. MAN also provided insights into the operational challenges affecting competitiveness in the sector. The engagement marks a significant step towards aligning customs operations with industrial development goals, ensuring that regulatory frameworks support national revenue targets while enabling sustainable growth in the manufacturing sector. With that story from customs, we conclude the Newspeaks segment. You're welcome. Welcome to our interactive segment. This morning on the interactive segment of our package, we shall examine one important sector of the maritime industry, the barge. It is true that much has not been heard about barges as a means of conveying cargoes from the ports to a specific near destination. Does it mean that the impact of their services are not being felt by the stakeholders in the industry? What has been the role of the regulatory agency towards successful operations and what is their state now? These and many others shall we shall be looking at, and with me via phone to discuss this all important topic is the Secretary of the Barge and Bonded Terminal District under the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Comrade Kingsley Iliaro. Comrade, you're welcome, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, madam. Good
Happy
morning.
New Month, and how are you doing?
I'm very well. Happy New Month to you. I hope you had a beautiful 65 Independence celebration.
Oh yes, my dear.
It,
We hope for
it's
better
a
Nigeria after now.
it's a blessing.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Now let's fire on. I have my first question for you this morning. Please, for the interest of our listeners out there who may not even know much about this badge, we will want you to kindly explain what it means, please.
Okay. For the record, okay, barge are actually like mini vessels. The barge operation simply means flat bottom vessels that are used to navigate shallow waters like the creeks, okay? And it's in situations where the bigger vessels cannot actually get through. So you use barge to convey general cargoes, okay? You use them to convey containers, even petroleum products, you know? So basically, it's transportation for when the mother vessels cannot get through.
Okay.
So that is what barge is actually about. So it's a mini vessel. It's a flat bottom vessel
Okay.
for movement of cargo.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Fabian.
our listeners can be part of the program by calling in or making their contribution. And the studio numbers to call are 0700 7977, 0700 7977. You can also call the studio line 091 625 71214. 091 625 71214. Okay, Mr. Ilero,
Yeah.
how has your
It's
morning
comrade though.
comrade?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Before
comrade.
he finds you
I'm
now.
also a comrade, so no
Okay.
problem.
Mhm.
So we are brothers. Yes.
It's a pleasure, Mr. Fabian.
Yeah, thanks. So now, since the disappearance of gridlock on the ever busy Apapa road, how easy has your operations been?
Okay, that's a beautiful question. Yeah. Now, since the disappearance of the gridlock from the road, okay, the operation as a skeleton. But it is not to say that barge are still not in operation, but the operation has been very skeletal, and these are real issues, these are concerns as regards to the situation now because the roads are free. A lot of persons are no longer seeing much of the need, okay, to engage badge or the badges as they used to around about 2018, 2019, up to about 2022, okay, where the Apapa Road used to be the lessee one, so blocked and what have you. So in recent time, the patronage has been slow. The patronage has been slow, and a lot of these badges are actually at the return back to Warri, Port Harcourt, okay, but there's still operation that are skeletal at the moment.
Okay. Will you say that barge operation is equally responsible for the disappearance of traffic on the Papa Road? Does it have any effect on it?
Yes, the batch operation actually played a major role why a lot of the traffic actually went off as quick as it did. Because it was because of that really that made the Apapa Oshodi construction an easy task for the road constructors because as at the time, you understand very well that the only access road we have to the port are the Apapa, Oshodi, and the other side of Orile, and all of these roads were under construction at the time, and it was the barge that actually played key role in moving cargo in and out of the port, whether it was from the Malto Channel or from the Kirikiri, Badagry, or Ido, or Ikorodu Channel, Ebe, all of those axes, it was just barge. So barge played a major role in actually helping the disappearance of the quick lock on the Apapa axis.
Yeah, it does appear that your members, from what you just said, that your members, that's badge operators, most of them don't have work now because of the free road that we have now. No much business again for badge operators.
Yeah, clearly yes. A lot of a lot of a lot of operation are actually dropped, like I said mentioned earlier, that because you now have the road fixed, okay, and the introduction of A2, that
Is
was somewhere in 2021.
hello?
That's a man. Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, let's see if we have a caller on the line.
Okay.
Just hold on. Let's see whether we can talk with the caller. Hello, who is on the line? Good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear us? It does appear we've lost it. But you can still call back if you're hearing me. Elaro, go ahead. So,
Okay. So, back to where we were.
yeah.
The petrol rate has really dropped drastically because somewhere in 2021, an e-column system was introduced
Mm.
to help control trucking to the ports,
Yeah.
in gaining access,
Traffic, yeah.
and yes, and that's so affected or contributed rather to the ease of the traffic too, which this was in collaboration with CTP, now the Truck Transit Park,
Yeah.
and
NPA, yeah.
that got into introduced in 2021.
Mm.
So that too contributed to the ease of traffic. And with all honesty, this has slowed down patronage on barge operation on Lagos waterways. And this is where the concern is. If we will have to treat barge as circumstantial, are you with me?
Yeah.
Then there is going to be crisis in our hands in the future when there is a situation, because most of these badges originally came from Warri, Port Harcourt, okay, to come and save the day when there was a need to. And now that a lot of them had come back, if we have a situation which we already face as we speak, they are trying their vessels at the ports to do evacuations and there are no barges to actually do the job.
I wanted to say, does it then mean that we don't have congestion in the ports?
Yeah, we do, but we do.
So your services your services are needed too.
Highly needed. But because the way the sector has been treated, because when the roads were fixed, there were no policy or there were no encouragement from the system that encouraged barging. So a lot of this equipment became idle, right? And there's no owner that wants to leave their equipment just like so. A lot of them went back to other places where their services are needed. So this time around, when you have such situation, it takes a longer time now by extending vessel turnaround time now because evacuation time now takes a longer. Yeah, that takes a longer time.
Okay.
Okay, comrade.
Yes.
Comrade.
Yes.
From your explanation thus far, it does seem that barge operation is a child of necessity. And if it yes, and if it is so, what do you think is the right what action should government take to ensure that their services does not go into extinction?
Beautiful. Now, this very question asked, I think these are some of the issues we've been pushing within the authorities so that it's not just a circumstantial sector where it is only where there is problem that you get people to come and make use of the badge. So some of the recommendation I will actually want the government to consider or policies the government will consider or should consider this is identify the badge sector. Okay? Maybe some kind of incentive. It could introduce maybe tariff rebates or discounts on port charges for cargo evacuated van badges. Okay? They can as well, right, provide maybe a tax relief for operators or some kind of subsidies to companies that achieve a certain percentage by using barge to evacuate cargoes. And again, most of our ports are not really equipped 100% for some of our barges. There are some of these terminals where you cannot have a rural operation because the jetties are too high or there are no bath provision made for barges to bath. So these are challenges. So there are times you are called in to come and discharge a barge and you are having a vessel arriving almost at the same time. So barge operator now you have to kick off for the vessel to bath, right? And some of this will not extend the cost of your operation. These issues, nobody takes responsibility. Neither terminal owner or any person takes responsibility for the extra cost the barge operator is going to incur because he came to the jetty where he has been called upon to come and discharge. So I will suggest that the government should encourage most of these terminals and the ports to have a designated path for barge operation. At least this way it will enhance or encourage barge operation.
All right.
And
All right, comrade. Now, I'm talking about you mentioned government. The government I know you're talking about now is NPA because that's the regulatory agency. Yes. Now, I want to find out how have you been able to bring these challenges before them and what has been their response? You mentioned incentives and other kind of encouragement to ensure that you continue your services. And we also know that NPS role towards barge operations is to ensure security, safety, regulation, facilitation of movement of cargoes, and setting minimum standards for vessels. So, have they been able to live up to their role?
Yes, yeah, it's a yes and no kind of response. We engage these people a lot. We engage them, and there is substantial progress because trust me, it is from all of this conversation in the time past that has brought us to at least some substantial progress, like licensing
Mm.
of the participators within the industry,
Mhm.
and safety on the water channel,
Mm.
and some other policies that are aligned with the safeness of operations on the waterway.
Mm.
But that has not been enough. There is still more to be done. There is still more to be done. There is still room to improve on some of these concerns raised here today. And it's because most time we are reactive in nature rather than being proactive to issues. Because as of today, we might say, okay, the roads are okay. Whatever, if there is a breakdown of a vehicle or something that happened and there is no other route to access the port, we won't begin to look for value. So the time is now to actually formulate policies that encourages movement of cargoes to the port. We can say, okay, let empty containers, export container access the port through the waterway and they exit. Maybe or a certain portion of shipment or cargo to go by barge, while a certain number goes by truck. Trust me, this will even make the roads to last longer because most of our roads are really designed for the heavy duty that ply them every other day.
Exactly.
On the waterway, it's safer.
It's safer,
You
yeah.
don't have you don't have to contend with issue of pressure on the road. And here is the beautiful thing about barge. A 1,500 barge can conveniently take up to about, let's say, 30 containers or 40 footers. This will be 30 trucks off the road at a shot, at a movement. So this will actually now enhance productivity. It will enhance efficiency at the port because the turnaround time of the vessel is very key to interpret that you have a functional port. And when you have consignments, they cannot take them all out from the vessel. You have to wait for trucks to come and evacuate these things before space are made. Trust me, it's on the long run accumulate to extra cost. And this extra cost translates to hike in price in the marketplace. Because whatever that they spent is going to reflect to the end user at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So,
I also believe that the cost for conveying these cargoes via barge is much cheaper than that of conveying by road. So I think people should be able to look into it and then support the operations of barge operators so that we'll have minimal costs in terms of transportation. Okay, Fabian.
Okay, comrade.
yeah, we did, Mr. Fabian.
Yeah, now we've talked about how MPA has been able to take certain actions that have led to your operations. Yes. So now let's look at the regulatory aspect as well. What is your compliance level to the regulatory standard of safety while you operate?
Okay, now this is something that every one of us take very seriously when it comes to safety measures, when it comes to the crew on board these vessels, these barges, when we're talking about the art of handling. So, and they've been ongoing training and retraining to ensure that every one person within the sector is abreast with safety. And The NPA too has been very strong on that when it comes to some of these safety rules, such as maybe like insurance for the craft that floats, for the cargoes itself. So all of these measures are in place to ensure that yes, there is safe and a smooth operation. And you will recall that you for the very longest time, maybe at the earlier part of when the budget thing was still new, when we're still trying to get it all together, you cannot recall when an accident happened or anything. So that shows that the people, the practitioners are in tune with safety rules and guidelines of the industry.
All right,
Yes.
comrade, thank you so much. I think this is where we'll be rounding up because our time has already gone. Listeners out there, this is the much we can bring to your doorsteps in today's edition of the program, NAGAFF Cargo Watch. It's been a very interesting one. Well, join us next week for another wonderful package. But before we go, Fabian,
Yes, I would say have a pleasant weekend and continue to enjoy your anniversary celebration.
Arani is also in the studio.
Have a beautiful weekend.
My friend and brother, Henry.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, from me, Rich Sunday is have a blessed weekend. Until then, God bless you and goodbye. Thank you.